Hey there, comic book fans. I'm Travis.
And I'm Ethan.
And we just want to do a quick little thing before we get into this week's reviews and stuff. We just want to say a thanks to some of the people who started following us. And
we want to say thanks to Ghost Critic for pointing some of those people our way and giving us a shout out on his review.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. You know, we're doing that 30 Days of Comics thing. We're actually getting ready to record day 15. We record them a little bit in advance. That way, in case something happens, we don't get caught scrambling trying to upload and record a video. But yeah, we just thought it was pretty cool that people are starting to pay attention to it and are responding back. I mean, I think that's great. The fact that people are commenting on what their what their things are and what their answers would be and stuff. That's really cool. And I just also want to give a quick shout out to my friend Eric from Longbox Review. He was doing this before I was, the 30 Days of Comics thing. I know he picked up from someplace else too, but it was basically kind of him that I was looking at. And so that's where the questions all come from. I don't know if people wonder, why do we have the questions that we have. It wasn't something that me and Ethan made up. I'm not even sure where this list came from, but it's what we're going with. Some of the questions in there probably we wouldn't even have asked, yeah, because we don't have answers for some of them, to tell you the truth. We're scrambling right now trying to figure out the answers to some of the things that are coming up. At any rate, so yeah, we really appreciate it. And that Longbox Review, he does written reviews of comic stuff and talks about comics in general. He's got a really long history of reading comics like I do. And me and him occasionally do a podcast. He does some podcasts himself too. I'll have the link down below, along with the comments and whatnot. So if you're interested in checking that out, if you're into more than just watching videos, you can check out his stuff too. It's pretty good also. Anyway, with that being said, we are on to
Batman and Robin, issue 6.
Okay. This book, I wasn't sure because the way the whole book is run so far, it's kind of a regression in the fact that Damian's kind of felt like he moved backwards from before the DC launch. He was starting to be more and more like a normal human being, and he in this kind of slipped backwards, which makes sense. But I was hoping he would break out of that to some degree. There's been some stuff in the past in this issue that's made me wonder if he was just going to be some homicidal maniac and whatnot. This issue, though, I thought was great. It pretty much shows that he may not have the complete belief and philosophy like his dad, Bruce Wayne Batman, does, but he's still out for good. And he basically plays his own game with nobody and kind of plays him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked it. I thought this is actually one of the titles I enjoy the most. I'm now really liking their their relationship. I'm curious to see what comes next for them. Obviously, the way this thing ended out and whatnot. It'll be real curious. I like the character, the villain Nobody. He's got kind of an interesting past with Bruce and whatnot, and getting to find out their history in this one was cool, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I think it's a really good book. What do you think?
I liked the book, although I was kind of disappointed with, it felt like they slid Damian's relationship back. Not his relationship. They slid Damian's status and his personality back, so they could pretty much do what happened with Dick and him, so it could happen with Bruce and him. And I guess that makes sense, but that's not really what I wanted to read.
Right.
But I'm also kind of glad that they did it, because before the relaunch, I did not like Bruce and Damian's relationship, because now it's evolving past the, do this, even though you're my dad, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So, which was what it was before the pre-launch, and that drove me crazy too.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of regression. The character had a little bit of regression, which I think makes a certain amount, makes sense with the book and whatnot. And his relationship with Bruce is going to be different. I mean, I think Damian saw Dick as being a peer, being his equal more so, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I think he saw him that way. But he certainly sees Batman as more than that. So there's going to be a lot more challenges on there. And I don't think that this is going to just make everything all happy and cheery between the two of them and whatnot. It shouldn't.
No.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of the family dynamics that have to do with the book and whatnot. So we rating these this time?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I give it a 3 out of 5.
I give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I'm really enjoying it. It's one of the books I look forward to now.
Yeah. Well, I would have preferred that there wasn't as much of reversed in Damien's character, so I'm just gonna give it a 3.
Okay. So you're judging all 6 issues on this one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, up next is Batwoman number 6.
I like this comic. It was really good. I like the storyline, and I like that she has new gadgets and fun stuff now that she's working with the
DOA?
DOA. And I like the lady that she's working for. She's funny and she amuses me.
Agent Chase?
Yeah, Agent Chase. She amuses me. I thought the art could have been better on this. There was some few pictures that look awkward. They're just weird.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't quite look right, like they completely fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, as an example, the shot where she's posing and she's blocking all the bullets and there's little squares around all the bullets.
Well, the bullets are all hidden.
That had some great potential to be really cool, and it was. It was a pretty cool shot, but it could have been better, and it was definitely still weird. But I have faith in Amy, and I'm sure that it'll get better.
Yeah, this is the first issue that's got. This is the first issue that has Amy Reeder doing the artwork on it. My understanding is they're doing arcs. One arc she'll do, then the next arc J.H. Williams III will do the art on. That way he can keep caught up and she can keep caught up on art. And they're way ahead in this, as far as my understanding of the story. But this also gives J.H. Williams a chance to also finish up the parts of the story while they're doing that, along with Blackman. Yeah, there's a couple shots in this, a couple action poses that do feel a little awkward. I still like Amy Reeder's art. I like her art on just about everything else.
Definitely.
I think she captures people's faces, emotions, where the story's going, and the storytelling aspects of it are all really good. And I think that those action shots will continue to get better as she just has more opportunity to do more of those things. I think.
I don't think Amy is as good as an artist as J.H. Williams, but I think she definitely has the potential to be.
No, well, they're completely different style of artists.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But I didn't feel like the change in art broke the story or anything, though.
No.
I kind of wondered about that. I was kind of like, well, wow, I wonder what that's going to be like. I mean, is it going to be suddenly this jarring? And I don't think that's the case. It's a different thing. And, and she doesn't try to ape, she doesn't try to mimic what J.H. Williams is doing, which is good. Mm-hmm. He's got his style, and she shouldn't be doing that, I don't think. But no, I like the fact that she's now she's got this bulletproof outfit. That's cool. That means that her just getting caught by a stray bullet isn't going to just kill her, because it's one of those things I always kind of worry about.
Yeah.
Her, Batman, Robin, Nightwing, all of those non-powered people. You always wonder, well, if they that stray bullet catches them, they're going to be dead or really messed up. So she's there's that. Yeah, I like Agent Chase a lot. She's going to be interesting if she continues to be a character that's around more. I'm looking forward to the up and coming dynamics where she dealing with all of this. How long is she going to work for the government, which she doesn't necessarily want to do, but is doing to protect her father and whatnot. Yeah, the story is just great, and I wondered with the first 5 issues how gorgeous the art was. I kept saying, man, it doesn't matter. The story could be blah 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 blah, and I wouldn't care because the art's so awesome.
Same thing with the last arc when it was Batwoman and Detective Comics.
Well, right.
But the thing is that the story's really amazing too.
Yeah, the story is really good. Well, especially the stuff with Greg Rucka was writing in Batman Detective.
That was pretty amazing.
That was pretty awesome. But this is solid, interesting stuff too. They're continuing with the now we're finding out how the whole water ghost lady, how she came about. So there's this even bigger plot around that. It wasn't simply just that there was this weird spirit that was still snatching kids. I mean, obviously somebody stirred that spirit up.
Yeah.
And stirred them up for a reason. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased the fact is that the story itself holds up to to what the amazing art was in the last issues.
Yeah, I was really generally impressed with this. I mean, even though it was by J.H. Williams, I had no idea how he would write it, and I'm generally impressed because I was kind of suspicious because I know that sometimes it takes him a little while to catch up on art, so sometimes some of his stuff can be late. But I was wondering, and I'm always just suspicious in general when people are writing and doing the artwork on the book, but I was really impressed, and it seemed like everything was still just as best as it could be and great.
Yeah.
And I think that takes a lot of skill to do both
things,
the art and the writing for it.
Sure. I think that lots of artists are okay storytellers just because they have to be successful in sequential art. You have to be able to tell a story, but being able to have good dialogue and an interesting, intricate plot is the struggle, and this so far seems to work. What would you rate this one?
I'm going to give this like 4.5 to 5 out of I'm gonna go with 4.5 out of 5 because it's a great story and I like the art. There's just some awkward shots.
Those action poses
Yeah.
would have been smoother than you would have been.
5.
Gun hole in this book. Yeah, I'll give it a 4. Enjoying the heck out of it. I like the characters, and I like all the people who are doing the work on it. It's just great work. So anyway, so what's next?
Demon Knights number 6. What do you think of this?
Cover's awesome.
Yes.
Right off the top, the cover's awesome. I mean, come on, she's headbutting a Triceratops. That's just wicked. Actually, I like this cover for another reason too.
Why?
Because you look at her armor, and I was confused.
You see what her armor looks like.
Inside, she got this. Well, she wears basically an armored bikini of sorts.
Yes, she wears D&D armor.
She wears She wears the plus 10 chainmail of defense bikini.
Yeah.
But in drawn on the inside, the way the horns from the dragon, because it's a dragon this armor looks like a dragon. The horns curling around her breast, I always thought just looked kind of weird. They made her breast look kind of corkscrewy and strangely, mid-80s Madonna-esque. And on the cover they look less so. You can actually look on the cover and go, oh, that's what it's supposed to actually.
On the
that's
inside,
what it looks like.
It doesn't look that nice shade of emerald green that her armor's background.
It doesn't look very dragonly. It looks almost like ram's horns or something to curl around. Anyway.
And
so
if you notice on the cover, while she's headbutting the Triceratops, she's smiling.
She's smiling? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's having a good time there. That's pretty awesome. This book is a lot funner than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't 100% sold on what it was going to be like, so I continue to be amused by this book. I'm still hoping that Vandal Savage ends up being a good guy when it all comes down to it, or more of a good guy than what he is here. I like the Vandal Savage character in this. He's been really fun in it. Of course, now he's working for the...
Now he's evil.
Now he's working for the bad guys. How long that's going to last, I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We finally, in this issue, get to see the Horsewoman actually do something more than ride around and go, and shoot a couple of arrows and go, oh crap, there's dragons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting where the horse gets cut down and her saddle just kind of moves her to another horse kind of thing.
That's
cool.
Awesome.
So I've been waiting to see something about her. We're 5-6 issues in, we're finally really getting to the meat and potatoes of her. We kind of know everybody else to some degree, either because we've had prior history with them, the Demon and Madame Xanadu. We've had a number of, and her, this is a completely new character.
Yeah.
I wish we would have seen more of her sooner. But anyway. Yeah. It's going to be a big old smash up, isn't it? The next issue. That's pretty much what it's going to be. There's some interesting parts in here. It's just fun.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like this comic more than I thought I would, because when this comic first got released, the news for it, like they said they're going to do this, I was excited about it because it looked pretty awesome. I mean, it was Etrigan with a big flaming funky sword on the cover, and I like fantasy stuff.
Right, true.
And then I read the first issue, and it was just okay. And it seemed like, and then it started to happen, like, it got further along, and I started to like it a lot more. And it seems like that happened with a lot of the DC comics.
New 52?
Like, for example, there's Red Hood and the Outlaws. the first issue of that comic sucked. I did not like it. They made Roy sound like a crackhead, and then the two guys like pervs.
No, not a crackhead, a dopehead.
Okay, a dopehead. Either one works. And then
if he was a crackhead, he'd be all agitated.
Okay, a dopehead. Fine, whatever. Some sort of like druggy.
Yeah.
And then
Shaggy. Yeah.
And then like yeah. And then Starfire Cordender, how do you say her name? Like just the mindless blonde. Yeah, who's there to be like the sex doll or whatever. And then both the guys like pervs. And then it turned out not to be that, and it got a lot better, and the plot got a lot more intricate, and people actually started to not be.
So you think most of the new 52, when they started out kind of slow?
Yeah.
They didn't take off right at the very beginning and just go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And this was one of them.
Yeah.
But how you liking it now?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I give it like a 3 out of 3, or
Yep.
3 out of 5.
I give it a 3 also. You know, good fun. It's nothing earth-shattering, but it's still a fun read. It's a good laugh, and it's been pretty entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Anything else to say about it?
Nope.
Okay, well that's it for this first half, and as soon as we get this downloaded, and we'll get the next one uploaded for the second half of this.
Oh, yeah. Now that I think about it, there is one more thing to say about this. What do you think of her hammer?
Of her hammer?
Her hammer. The Amazon's hammer. When she first jumps over the wall, and she has the big, let's see here, the big spike hammer.
Big mallet.
Yeah, yeah. She has this huge.
I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that.
It's
mallet
right.
there. Yeah.
Here.
You can see
yeah,
it.
that's huge.
That's
that big spiky thing.
Yeah, that'd be a big hammer, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Anything that smashes things. There you go. Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Well, that's it for this first half of the second week of February. Hope you'll see us back here in just a little bit for the second half. Bye.
Bye.